Many years ago, I received a letter from a concerned father about his introverted artist son. He was wondering how he could help his son succeed. And I started by acknowledging how lucky his son was to have his support. So many artists are without that kind of support. So if you happen to be one of those artists who have concerned people in your life, count yourself lucky and blessed. After thinking it over for a bit, I came up with some advice, which I don't give lightly, but it's based on decades of working with artists. And this advice I have written in the form of a letter. And the letter was so popular, it got so much good feedback back in 2017 when I wrote it, that I wanted to update it and share it here on the podcast and video so that, I don't know, maybe there's someone in your life that you might want to share it with, someone who's trying to do right and help you, or who just doesn't understand you, or maybe a little bit of both. And maybe this is something that you can share with them. So I'm going to read the letter and hope that it's something that resonates with you. Dear loved one, here are 7 insights into my life as an artist and how you might fit in. Insight number 1, above all, accept me. I might dye my hair pink. I might show up at your office function with paint underneath what's left of my fingernails. And I'm okay being a nonconformist in the room as long as you are there by my side. Don't try to change me. Don't try to fix me. When I want advice, I'll ask it of the appropriate person, which may or may not be you. It's not your job to turn me into something other than what I want to be. I may just want to make art without feeling the need to sell it or share it with others. Or I may just not be ready to take that bigger step. The timing is up to me. Insight number 2, respect the way I work. I like to be alone. I need to be alone a lot. Space is absolutely essential for my creative process. So when I say that I need to be in the studio, please don't invite me to lunch or ask me to pick up the kid. Respect my studio and my work hours. I really need uninterrupted studio sessions. And contrary to popular belief, I am not playing in the studio every day. I'm not sure what it looks like from the outside, what it looks like to you, but for me, it's a non-linear experimental process to come up with fresh ideas and to figure out how to give form to those fresh ideas. At times, I'll admit, it can be tortuous. Tip number 3, acknowledge the difficulties. Trying to turn my talent into a business is more challenging than I could have imagined. It takes some of the fun out of it, and it causes anxiety because my work is so personal. And yet, I know, deep down inside, I know that it's a privilege to get to do what I do. They don't tell you about all the non-art requirements until you're already waist deep into the business stuff. All I want to do is make art, but much more is required of me when I want to share that work with the rest of the world. I got to figure out my state's complicated sales tax system. I have to find new venues. I need to research business insurance, maintain collector records, send newsletters, be active on social media, and apply for opportunities. And do not get me started on all the new technology that pops up every day, or the struggle I have when I try to find a photo that I need to send in with a submission. Ask me about my goals. There is no formula for a successful artist. We all have different visions. I have short-term goals like getting into a juried exhibition or maybe having my first open studio. And if I'm being honest, it's hard to think beyond that because there's so many possibilities. I might start applying for grants and artist residencies, and it would be a thrill to see my work in museums one day or to have gallery representation. But these are long-term goals. I'm going to have to pound the pavement for years until this happens, and there's going to be many rejections. I'm going to need good friends by my side. Insight number 5, help me. I don't want to bother you. I really don't want to bother you. I understand that my world isn't your world, so I'm probably going to try to do everything myself. Maybe you could recognize when I'm exhausted from trying to be too self-sufficient. If you offer help, I might not accept it at first because, again, I don't want to bother you. But keep trying. Remind me that it's okay to accept help. If you truly want to assist, you might have to be the one to step in and convince me that I'm not burdening you. There are a few things you might help me with. Maybe you could proofread my newsletter or correspondence. You could help me install my work or run an errand when I'm in the throes of a show. You could make goodies at my opening or pour wine for my guests. You could mingle at my events. And this is a great idea. You could take photos, lots of photos at my events, because hopefully I'm too busy talking with other people about my art and forget to take photos. That would be super helpful. My 6th insight is to support me. Buy my art when you're able to, and when you really want to live with it, and share it with other people who might want to do the same when you feel that it's a good fit. Share my posts on social media when you see something that speaks to you. Please show up at my openings and bring your friends. I may look confident, but I might be shaking inside. I really don't like to be in the spotlight, and every friendly face is helpful. You might also support me when I take uncomfortable steps. For example, although I might be an introvert, I know that networking is key to my success. So maybe you suggest an outing where I can meet new people. And no surprise here, I might make up excuses as to why I can't go. Perhaps you could offer a gentle reminder of my goals and how important I said that networking was in the past. I might go with you kicking and screaming, but it is going to be much easier and more fun to go alongside you. And my final insight, number 7, is just to love me. You probably worry about my decision to live this artist life, and that's okay. I know it's only out of concern that you worry. There will be days when the artist life feels impossible, when I question my decisions. I think I made terrible decisions. I might get down on myself, and I hope you'll encourage me to find my way again. It's not your responsibility to do this, but it's helpful for you to remind me about the goals that I previously articulated. Please tell me you continue to believe in me and my art. I cannot hear this enough. And keep loving me. That's all I can ask. With love and gratitude, your artist.